Okay. So who are we then? So we're job coaches. We are we work across Worcestershire, and we're supported by the National Lottery and the ESF. That's who we're funded by, to provide primarily support to find work, be it voluntary work or paid work, and also support with education, be that college or short courses, online, whatever that client needs. Dee will be going into it in more detail, but I'll tell you a little bit about me. So I started at Onside in March. Prior to that, from March 2020 to 21, I was furloughed and then made redundant twice from 2 different training jobs. So I've got quite a good background in being unemployed and trying to get work. I was training in apprenticeships. So I've got a background in training, and prior to that I was also working in care, and I did quite a number of years in care in different places. So I've got quite a good background for anybody particularly who wants to come and work in care or do apprenticeships. Very good at sort of explaining what they need to do in terms of not just the course but the extra bits for the apprenticeship. Dee, do you want to talk about yourself?
I can do, yeah. So my name's Didi Ong. I've been a BBO job coach at Onside since October of last year. Previous to that, I was a job coach at a local college supporting young adults with learning needs. So it was a supported internship programme. So it's helping them in work and also gain a level 1 qualification. Before that, I was a community nurse for about 5 years. I've had various admin jobs in schools because being a single mum, it was more convenient hours for me. So I feel that I've got like Helen, I've got quite a varied background, so there's lots of experience that I can bring to this role, and I really get a lot out of helping people achieve their own goals. So I'll pass you over to Nikki now.
Okay, my name is Nikki Clegg, and I'm a BBO coach as well for Worcestershire. My background is also apprenticeships, employability and study programmes, but also maths and English tutor. So I can help a lot of people to go into, find places to go to sit, maybe their maths and English if they've left school out, or somebody later on in life who's decided they would like to do their maths and English. And yeah, before that, I worked in facilities, so facilities management. So I know a lot about different job roles within property management.
Okay. And this isn't moving along now. Bear with me, sorry. Okay, so more in depth then, what is BBO? Like I said, we're National Lottery funded, and we're funded by the European Social Fund. Onside is part of a larger consortium, so there are a lot of housing associations you might come across, other charities that are all under the Fusion brand, which is primarily run by Vestia Housing in Kidderminster, and they support us to provide more local support to those that need it. We support anybody from the age of 16 upwards, and we very much support them, like I said, to move into employment. We give one-to-one support. The really good thing about this project is it's not time limited. Often with a job centre, they've only got a short amount of time to work with people. We don't have that because, of course, in life, things get in the way, so they might come to us for support with housing and then need other things as well as working or education. So we really want to support people to gain new skills, possibly life coaching and personal development, and it suits that client, it suits them, and we are very much user-led, so we work at a pace that's good for that person. So eligibility, like I said, we're 16 plus. You must be unemployed. You must have a right to work in the UK. and also live in Worcestershire. We can't take anyone out of the boundaries, and that's likely that there are people, say in Herefordshire or groups in Gloucester that also do this, just under a different name, which is why we can't. We're only for Worcestershire. Didi.
Okay, so we like to meet up weekly if possible. From the start, we find out what your goals are. And so we find that meeting up regularly helps to achieve those goals quicker. Mostly tend to be face-to-face, and that can be in a public space such as a library, cafe. We often use our meeting room as well at Onside, as it's close to town, and it's a nice quiet space in there. If it's not convenient to meet you in person, providing you've got the technology, we can have online meetings using Zoom or Teams, and we can help you set up those as well on the phones or computers. Of course, we also communicate using emails, phone calls, texts, WhatsApp, whatever is easiest than you're used to using. I can have the next slide there, please.
Okay.
Thank you. So the support. So we can support you in a number of ways. It all starts with finding out what you want to achieve and your current situation, and identifying anything that is stopping you achieve your goals. And this is what we call barriers. I'll cover those a little bit later on. So if it's paid employment you're looking for, Nikki will explain that soon. We also support you in job searches and filling application forms. Look at what you're doing, look at what you are doing to see what we can improve. And we can also help you update your CV or create a new one if you don't have one already. You might also want to upskill or retrain in a different area of work. So we look at what training courses and programs are available. This is about your goals and what you want to achieve. And we can provide this one-to-one support. Can I have the next slide, please? Thank you. So barriers. Many people find themselves struggling with ill health, whether that's physically or mentally, and we can help you access support services here at Onside or with our other partners. Majority of people we help have some sort of anxiety or low confidence and self-esteem. So, which we find is a huge barrier to gain work or access education. And we can help build up your confidence. So long as you're motivated to achieve your goals, we can help you get there. Some people also have financial difficulties or need support on what benefits entitled to. We can help you find out information and help you complete forms. I helped the other day somebody complete their PIP form. We also take into account any personal responsibilities you may have, such as caring duties like caring for an elderly relative, parent, or even your children. And so when we are supporting you in looking for jobs or training, we've factored all these different barriers in. We also can see what support services are available to you as a carer as well. So during lockdown, when face-to-face meetings weren't possible or limited, using IT was the only way to contact people, such as via Zoom or Teams. And so we're used to sort of doing this still, and we can help you prepare to do this. There's a lot of companies we know that have done interviews by online methods, so we can show you how to use these, set these up on your computer or your phone and access them. We can also access many IT courses, ranging from basic skills to level two, and many of these are free of charge. If transport is an issue because you can't drive, or you haven't got access to a car, you need to go to an interview or training course, sometimes finding that money to pay for your bus or train fare can be a struggle. So if you're on our programme, you're going for an interview or training, we can pay for you for your travel fare to get you there and back. So I'll hand you over now to Nikki, who will talk to you more about job searches and apply for jobs.
Okay, so what we will help you with is to, if you haven't already got accounts with Indeed or the government apprenticeship site, we will help you create an account. will also help you to write or update your CV and then upload it to Indeed or to the Gov apprenticeship website. So those people that haven't got a laptop but have got a iPhone or Android phone can access the job site on their phone. So we make sure it's done on the laptop so that you then can access all the jobs on these various job sites, which means that then people can independently apply for jobs. Cover letters are quite important, and because they're like your backup for your CV. When you're applying for a job, quite a lot of employers ask for a cover letter, and it's basically telling them about your skills for that particular job. And what we do, we provide a template, and this can be edited for every job that you apply for. Our aim is that you independently are able to apply for jobs. And what we also do around job search skills is go through the criteria of each job so that people can get used to their transferable skills, but also read through and check that they are they have the ability to apply and the skills to apply for that particular job. This has worked really well with people that haven't got much technology, because it means when they've got their, say, Indeed account, we can help them set up email alerts. So the jobs that they're looking for will come straight to their email and then they can apply. So yes, it works very well. Next slide, please. Okay, so we're going on to education and training and interview skills. So what we do for maths and English, we work, we've got contacts like WorkPays, the library, adult learning, where people from the age of 16 can go and do their maths and English. Now with WorkPays, which is, I think it is quite good, they can do this independently, so they can sit at home, they get provided with a laptop, and they work through what's called Skills Forward, which is an online platform to help them they do initial assessments, they do diagnostics, and that leads them to worksheets that are generated so that they can upskill to the level that they need to be. This is good for people with anxiety and social needs, where they're not keen on going to college. They don't want to go back to school, sixth form, because it didn't work for them, where they can still gain their maths and English, and they only go in when they sit the exam. So that could be quite good. Other qualifications, JobSkiller do a lot of short courses, which go for about 2 weeks. And you can see down, so they can do things like, it says on their food hygiene, CSCS card, could be warehouse, it could be more vocational qualification. And this is what we do, we encourage people to do some short courses, especially if they've been out of work for quite a long period of time. We can then add this to their CV, which then helps them more to gain employment. Interview skills, really important. I'm sure that everybody knows that when they go to an interview, one of the questions is, tell me about yourself. And that can put you on the spot straight away and you can't think. So we have worksheets, and we prepare people for to have something written down about, tell me about yourself, strengths, weaknesses, skills that they've got towards the job. And also we will do a mock interview so that they can practice before they go for the interview. But yeah, that's next slide, please.
Oh, here we go again. Sorry. Why won't it go? Oh, sorry. I'm back now. Bear with me 1 minute. Right. Barriers. Right then, so can you see that?
Yeah.
Right, brilliant. Okay, so we're just going to go on to our success stories. So I wanted to talk about someone called Steve. Steve is someone who I've helped since the start of April. He was a gentleman that was referred to us, and he had severe anxiety. He didn't like going out in places with people that he didn't know, which was one of his main barriers. So one of the first things we did was get him used to that. So I started just taking him to newer places. So Onside has got like a little cafe, which is quieter. So it was get him used to new places in order to get out. And we met there initially. That really helped him. And then from that point, we started then, when he felt ready, to look at voluntary work, to look at jobs, but also to set up things like his Indeed account. He didn't have one. We did a CV. We uploaded a CV to Indeed, and I showed him the functions and how he can use that. He was quite good with IT, so that was really helpful. With other people, we would gradually take them through that. Due to him being quite good, once he got used to Indeed, he was able to use it. Every time we met, we had a little look on Indeed, and then when it was really, really good, because when he got used to it, he was searching for jobs independently, but then he lacked the confidence to actually apply for these jobs. So then I helped him match his skills that he had previously with other jobs he'd done to what jobs he'd seen. And eventually he came across a security guard job, which he applied for, and we did interview techniques, how to manage his anxiety within interviews. Coming from within my previous roles where I was a manager, I'm used to doing interview techniques, so I kind of gave him quite a stern kind of look, as you just sometimes have with people with interviews, as well as the nicey approach. And basically he had this practice and he did really, really well, which again gave him that confidence, supported him with anxiety that he could do it. For that ongoing support with anxiety as well, I also referred him to our mental health support workers, who also helped him. The security job he's got is just working with one other person on a night shift, so it really suits him. It's really been with what he needed. It would be very easy for me to go, well, you need to go and work in a charity shop, but actually that would very much set him back because of his anxiety around other people. Whereas with just having one or two people on the shift he's working, he's able to deal with that better. So that was a really, really positive outcome for him. And I only spoke to him a few days ago. He's really enjoying it. So it's really, really, really nice to see. Dee Dee, do you want to talk about your person?
Yeah, sure. Okay. So I've been supporting Mike since last October. I've changed his name anyway for confidentiality reasons. He's now 19 years old, lives with mum, stepdad and a couple of siblings. He has a learning difficulty and an education, health and care plan. When I met him last October, he had just completed his level 1 employability award level 1 construction qualifications. But unfortunately, due to lockdown, he was unable to access work experience as part of his course. So he missed out on this and building up work skills, which is a great shame, actually, because a lot of young people, it's like a chicken and egg situation. You need to have the experience and the work skills to get your job. What Mike really wanted to do was work with cars. His dad was passionate about cars and he loved working with his dad in his spare time. Sadly, his dad passed away about 3 years ago. Mike never really learned to come to terms with his death and deal with his grief. So his way of coping was to shut down to people or do the opposite and lash out in anger. So this is one of the big barriers, actually, for Mike. He would push people away, didn't know how to deal with his feelings. So, but I was able to access a number of counselling sessions via phone, because this is all during lockdown, to help him talk about his feelings, and also to help improve Mike's communication skills and being able to work with others. I enrolled him on a 12-week Prince's Trust programme run by the local college. And this is when lockdown was starting to ease. So they were actually putting face-to-face courses on for people. This programme, if you don't know already, it supports young people to improve their confidence and self-esteem and build up their leadership skills and team working skills. So they work all in a very safe environment. I have seen such a lot of improvement with Mike since completing this programme, and his confidence has grown. And also going on the programme was also a test to see if he could work well with others and being able to follow instructions and behave appropriately. The local college who was running this programme also have a level 1 vehicle course that would be ideal for Mike. But with his previous history of poor behaviour and attendance at this college, they didn't want him back. All right, so Mike had a lot to prove, to say to them, I've changed, I'm motivated, and I'd like to start this course in this September. And he showed that by 100% attendance on the Prince's Trust. He always got involved. And he showed great maturity. When he was getting angry or wanted to lash out, he would just ask for time out. So his behaviour is definitely getting better. Mentioned earlier that Mike has a learning difficulty, so I contacted the college beforehand, the SEN coordinator, who knew Mike from the previous course and helped set up a one-to-one support for him when he starts the college. So I'm happy to say there is a nice happy ending, as Mike has been accepted in the course and he has just started. But it just goes to prove that, given the chance, he has changed, and I'm really, really happy for him of what he's achieved so far. Some of the other things that were dotted around during the year that I've supported Mike is that I've updated CV, worked with him on interview skills, referred him to a local charity called Read Easy to help him with his driving theory test. And also I got him a part-time summer job cleaning in the local park. So there's lots of different aspects, like with Helen's, that we can support our clients. So that's the end of Mike's story. Now it's Nikki's turn.
So I'll call mine Dave. So Dave, 57 years old, worked all of his life, got made redundant last year after 37 years of working. So first of all, he came to me this year, sort of in June, and because he wants to find work, he was struggling to find work. So he had quite a few barriers because he was very stressed about a money situation. He'd managed to claim universal credit, which included some housing benefits, but what he didn't know was that he could claim council tax support. So he'd been paying full council tax sort of for the last 8 months, which was about £126 a month. He was also only getting part of his housing benefit because he was living in a 3-bedroomed house. So what we first did was we got appointments at the housing in town where they would give advice and help with filling out forms. So I attended a couple of meetings with him, firstly to sort his council tax because he shouldn't have been paying any. Also got him onto Housing for You because he said he wanted to downsize. He didn't need a 3-bedroomed and he wanted to move to 1-bedroomed. And also to get housing discretionary fund to help support him with his rent, because due to being in a 3-bedroomed, he was paying bedroom tax for the others. So I met him yesterday and he's been offered a 1-bedroom flat. They're desperate to get him moved because they want the 3-bedroom. So he's been offered somewhere to live. He got discretionary housing benefit. His council tax has been sorted and they won't give a back pay, but they're going to, I don't think he has to pay it now, even when he starts work for a while, so he'll be in credit. So we set up an Indeed account. We'd already done his CV just in preparation. He is now actively applying for jobs. And he said to me, I was at rock bottom, and he literally with hand signals said, I'm up here now. And his whole, the way he looks, the way he's coming across is so much more positive. And I'm going to work with him until he gets employment. But it is just that there are people out there who aren't aware of, benefits, aren't aware of the support that they can get. And he was very, very depressed. So I think he feels there's now a positive future for him.
Okay. So the last slide is very much just our details. I'm just about to stop recording. So if you have any questions, please do ask. Hang on 1 minute.